we're in very, very small. Like we said, we were not expecting to get this, so we're gonna have to defend 37 even downside right now. So a NASDAQ making the move down, some stocks falling down. We celebrated Apple too early. It didn't touch me at that one. It's too bad. It was one penny away, but good opportunity to pick up Apple as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just going to come back, if I can, to that Ocugen is making a bit of a push to the upside. No break through 7, so we're watching it very closely. I do have 715 to the short side. Can't let it go through that 735 to the top. And Li Auto, so when the second you mentioned the EV spacer, Li Auto starting to pull back as well. I'm going to start a little bit of a defense here. See if like 2280 can't hold. We also like 22 as a bit of a price, just giving you the higher time frame so you can see how much it had dropped off of that offering. Sundial on the move as well. I didn't add to my 99 short position. I'll see if I can on any kind of a pop, but you know, I think it can go like that 95, get like a nice winner there, and eventually if it breaks 95, you got that 80 level.
Oh man, I put in a stop order and made a keystroke error, so we got in and out there and back in. So that's my bet on that one. Okay, Palantir right now. We're starting the bids. So we've got a bid now down at 37. So we are long now 37.07.
All right, what's going on, guys? So welcome back to another stream.
Yes, we can. So a nice little win there on Palantir to start the day. So yeah, we'll start it off, man. We'll go money time, but we need the more. So let's see if this one can keep going. Palantir, nice little bid there. There goes Neo. So we're starting to go upside. I don't even think we've opened yet. I don't even see a New York print. So we need Neo to open, and hopefully it doesn't open higher. So I hope it doesn't open lower.
So we're pushing up right over here on the NASDAQ.
Maybe open up to, oh my God,
No interest for me now.
Sorry, I don't know if you got it. I missed it.
Which one?
Square's not even loading here.
Oh, Square? No, I don't have that.
Yeah, look, it is what it is, guys. I actually threw a dip buy in there. That's actually still there, but I did miss out on that break at 250. I'm going to assume it just wasn't enough liquidity there. If it gives any kind of a pullback, I'm going to see if I can't get involved at 250 half. But is what it is. We can top with levels all we want. We gave you that 250. I know some guys in the chat were looking at it. Please let us know if you got that Square. Great breakthrough 250. And look at that continuation. It's a fantastic one here. I'm going to be kicking myself over this one all day long.
Yeah, we love Square. Anyways, what's up, Brendan?
Safety group, guys. SFET, one we've traded before in the show, just coming back to the downside, but up 20%. Yeah, on some positive news this morning. Just checking, double checking. 175 is a decent level here to look at.
The thing about Square is I'm already long 212, so we're going to go woohoo on that one, but we do miss it today. And then look at this. I actually missed this as well, but I just go over and put a bid in and take this one. So there it is. Did we just get hit there? I'm 05 long, I believe, on Twitter. Sorry, 10 longs on Twitter. So here we go, man. The Bulls be kicking today, boy. Neo right now, 8 cents in the money. We obviously are waiting for a lot longer than that. We just took some out of 80, so that was a good print. We're 4 longs, man. Big trade here for Twitter. Looks like Twitter, Palantir trying, Neo trying, and Apple right now, right at my spot again. So let's go, Apple. 129.21. Make me a winner, and boom, there it is, guys. Walking on water today with 4 monster longs right now. I mean, I'm just most concerned about Neo. There goes Apple. Adios, amigos. Let's see how high this one wants to go.
Yeah, like I got some Li Auto, so I'm actually concerned about that one as well. They're Sundial actually making a bit of a move. Yesterday, it had some trouble getting through 98. I had that hammer short at 99 even. So I'm going to take profits off, some at 98. I'm going to work into more shares every chance I get. Ocugen is holding the Houston. Now we're going to go to Brendan, but it's getting close to that top.
Just checking on some SPAC action. Rice in New York, up 45%. They're taking an energy company, this Archaea Energy, public with a merger. Just announced, guys. Big move here for Rice today.
Chicken dinner winners right now. Neo, let's go. Still ripping to the high side there. Big trade alert for me on NIO. Yeah, we're already one-time daily goal. One time right now on 4 longs, guys. Apple long, 70 cents. I mean, this is how you hit your goals. You make the calls. Watch out, Valeria. You make the calls. Thank you, Valeria. You make the calls and you follow them. Look at this. Twitter, Neo 37. That's where I'm long. Apple 129. Let's go.
All right, so
Palantir's on that board as well. So let's just keep on going to the high side. Just took some.
NASDAQ looks like it's kicking it up higher right now. There's not really any interest right now for me right now.
Comes all the way right back into that little dip fire. Sometimes I'd be fading short like that. I already have a couple of shorts that I really like on here. So going the other direction.
But I do like the S&P 500 right now, so we'll see what it does. Maybe I'll just take a level 2 on NASDAQ.
Not quite like 85 or so, but I think we can get that little move to the upside here. Get some orders in because I think it shoots to the upside, which we stocks can do on you. You want to make sure you don't miss out on that chance to take profit. I don't have to worry about taking profit on some of that. That's going to work out. I got some bids down there to make sure it happens. Square, on the other hand, I can go ahead. Probably not going to get that little 240, 246 dip buy. We thought maybe that was going to be the case. I think it's going to be more along the lines of it dips into VWAP here. I want to have a little piece of this party, so I'm going to start a little something, if I can, around 251.50, and then see if I can't work into some square. Brendo?
It's a box, guys, from the watch list this morning, just popping up here on a huge volume spike. It was a little bit slow getting going there, but once they
Why am I getting ads, dude? What the fuck?
21, looks like 16. The bottom coming into significant levels over here, as we mentioned, guys.
All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to get out of some trades here because everything is working for us like the gangbusters right now. Neo does go above 38 there, so we did take some more shares on that rip. So we'll wait to see what that wants to do. But right now, Neo to the high side looks like it's in control right now. So a good couple buys here on Neo. We told you that 37.50 level. We gave you that early, and now we're hitting it. So that's what we do on the show, man. I give you the levels and we take them. There's Apple right now. It just goes as high as 129.50. That may be the spot. So debating taking some more out at 129.50. We're already a third out for 40 cents. We'll see if we can't make this a clean. I mean, where are we long right now? 72. So this is a decent run up for Apple. Let's take a little bit more off here at this 50 level as we've already touched upside on Apple.
Yeah, so we're able to get a little bit here, and we'll go with a little arrow up for squares. It touches through the top. I scalp off a buck, just under $1 here after I get a 251 half long, so it's not going to be 250, but I talked about finding a place to buy the dip. If you don't get the price you like, I'm going to start playing the scalp game. If I had some shares around 250, I'd probably hang on to it a little bit deeper. But if I get this out, like, at 253, I think I'm going to rinse and repeat.
Yeah, Nasdaq is pushing high right now. Look at that. But there's no entries on that so far.
252, get in, get out over and over again. So you have to find a way to get back on the horse every single chance you get. Going to go back to that Ocugen because, sometimes you play this one, but I like the fade. I said, wait, 235. I get my shares on the 230 rollover, so we're able to start getting some shares out here at the bottom at 213. First here at 715, then 735. We got that rollover. I got 30 to the short side here. I still like a 7 break on Ocugen, but I'm playing off the 735 level first things and foremost. If you're going to give me 15, 20 cents on a stock like this, I'll start taking it off in front of 7. Brendo.
VISL, Visalink, up on a contract this morning, multi-million-dollar contract for camera equipment for, I believe it's E-Series Racing, something along those lines. Have a look at VISL. Also, we didn't talk about Nikola, guys. There was a contract for Nikola as well. 2% higher this morning. They're partnering with Rig 360.
Nikola
is? Okay. Interesting. Okay, here goes the NASDAQ now. Twitter, again, look, it made that huge run. We're still long at 70, but we just took another piece off on VWAP. So we only have 40% left. We're out of 60%. Do I think it runs? Yeah. So now we're going to hold on the rest of this, see if we take out the high there on Twitter. That'd be pretty sweet if that does come through. So we're excited to see if that happens. And then right now, Palantir is the only one really that hasn't taken off into that NASDAQ move. So that's making me worry a little bit. So we did take some off there for that 10 cents first. And then we just took 5-cent piece there. And now it looks like we're heading to the downside. So we do have to watch out for Palantir. That's just the one that's not moving. But look what is moving, man. We still have this dollar winner right now. I consider this diamond hands. I mean, we're long at the bottom, and we're out near the top, and we're just waiting to see how high Apple wants to fly on a day where the NASDAQ appears to be taking off again. So a good little move upside for Apple. We'll continue to watch that. I'm not nervous about Neo, but we did take some there. Remember I told you these breaks were going to be small shares? This is the real,
wow. Looking at USAJPY, we just saw another great move toward the downside. I didn't take anything on USAJPY because I'm not awake during that time. But very a very continuous move from the last couple of days on UJ.
NASDAQ looks like it's trying to hold up here at 13,700. Good little position for that. And there goes Twitter, and Apple's still that dollar in the money.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a bit of a problem with that, Neil, because I got Li Auto as well. It's the only position that's really giving me some concern at these levels. And right at 680, talk about Tesla at 666 and 680. Tesla turned on a dime right at 680 off the open and is now giving a bit of a pullback. So I'd like to see Tesla find some support before maybe they take any more shares in that Li Auto position. I am going to go over to the stock that we've been long a couple of times now. That's going to be Square. So I bought a couple of dips in here on Square. First at 251.50, $21. Yeah, right. And then again here at 252.11. I'm always going to scalp off that box, see if we can hang on. I think at this point, you know, it's settling in pretty nicely, looking strong. Market at the highs. We're gonna hang on to this at least through 255. So we got another nice one in here. We'll drop the money. And the key thing is, look, I think we both love that 250 level. I'm sure a lot of people did. I missed it. It is what it is. You gotta get off. You gotta get back on the horse, and don't sit there and cry over spilt milk. Now, Oxygen with the break. Now remember, adding to my shares, so through 299. Sure, I shorted the pops. But I also like that 7 break. You're going to see a different average price as it now got more aggressive in Oxygen and it continues to fall to the downside. So Oxygen and Sundial were the names I like for the short side. I didn't really have much of anything else. Liotto maybe should have been one because if it's going
What's up, Aaron?
Today, it feels like it's Liotto. It's trying to hold.
I listen to Trader TV live on my stream.
Can make a little bit of a break. The EV names not looking as good if you look at the Chinese names here. And I think Tesla resistance at 680 was probably the bigger problem.
You know, I'm like 100% with you here as we seeing about getting out of some of our.
All right, so I like this right now on the Nasdaq.
It just looks like it might be a problem for us. But a bigger problem for me right now, and it's not a huge one because we did have the levels picked out, so we're not huge into this yet. But this bottom pick down here, 2280, we got to wait for Palantir to get down to 2250 before we do anything. We know how Palantir trades, man. It bounced off the quarters yesterday. Let's see what happens today. I still have faith in this name. We did just take another bid there at 88. So let's wait to see if it does come below this 2250 level. We may have to hold on to Palantir a little longer than we'd like, which is not a problem. It's just it's not working out right now. Neo, though, comes right back. You see me with a bunch of outs here. We go, there he goes. There it is. There it is. Yes, sir. A nice little tick up there for Neo. So happy with the way that one's working out right now. But we are just going to exit out and watch out for put some more orders upside on NIO. I think we can get into this area, 3860, 3850, and then watch out for 39. Maybe 39's coming here. Let's hold on to some Neo and see if we can't make a bigger winner on this one, guys.
Okay, I like this right now. I like the Nasdaq right now. I'm looking to buy it off that level 2.
Off of this pre-market level for me to clock guys at 475. We like this to 465. That's the level we sort of gave you to defend in front. So I tried scalping every 10 cents in front of it. If we get a pop, I'm going to start taking some off. I mean, I have some bids, some offers at 505. I'll throw some more at that 490 range on any kind of strength. Square's still looking good, but Hall of Fame starting to creep to the downside on me. Brendo.
Just going to open a new chart here if I can because mine froze. But I wanted to show you Smile Direct Club, guys. They announced a new lifetime smile guarantee. So big volume spike just came in there for SDC, back about $10, guys.
It's pretty funny. I found out that yesterday as my kid lost her second tooth, and I said that I need to be a Smile Direct member. So we'll see about that. But just all kidding aside, everything's fine. She's 6. Okay, 3820 to the high side right now. Neo, man, just I mean, continues it. This is what we're doing. I mean, this is what we do every day on the show. Hopefully, is find you guys key levels and just hit the trades. I told you that I thought Neo today was going to outperform the Nasdaq, and that's exactly what it did. I mean, we talked about why. Join us every single morning live as we start the show at 8:30. Then send it to your friends, send it to whoever you would like. That would be great. Okay, Palantir. Cha-ching! We did it again, so we'll go a little bit of daps on this one. We're finally back to in the money.
Oh, wow. Shit.
Now, or at the money for Palantir, up to $22, $23 off.
Looks like we're rejecting right now.
Holding that bottom from yesterday. Looks like it did that. Now we just need it to work for us. I'm debating getting more out here. I don't know what kind of a run Palantir has in it today, but again, was not expecting this dip in what was a relatively strong Nasdaq move. Palantir only has that one green candle, and it's right now.
Yeah, and I'm a little more active than I think I would normally be in Square. So like that 252 break. So taking like a 50-cent hit. We're trying to hang on for 255, but if I'm going to be scalp trading, then that's what I'm going to do on Square. Relatively speaking, I mean, like, you know, take a buck, $2, and then lose like 50 cents. I'll call it scalp.
Oh wow, look at that.
UTME, don't want to get too far away.
Looks like these other indices are really weak right now.
But you remember that was Square time.
So maybe Nasdaq will continue being weak as well.
Happens to have here, and I hope it gets back to do off of like 65.
I didn't get that. That would have been an easy trade
On that stock, and I think it's going to die.
to take.
The share price is likely to die with it. Just to come back and show you what happened on Sundial. It didn't quite get to 95. It did pull all the way back into 96.50. At no point have I been able to add to my short position, unfortunately. So everything I have is from earlier on in the session when I'm shorting in the market in front of the buck, and I'll continue to do so in front of like 99 range. Maybe I'll have to start taking some in the mid 98s. That's the only way I can get into position. That's what I'll just go ahead and have to do. You got to play what it is. And as far as that acquisition goes, the SPAC of the day, Rice, there it is. Yeah, sorry, Rice just made a bit of a hard turn off of 15 even, but it's been bouncing really strongly off VWAP every single time. So I'd look for maybe the same thing to happen off 14. If this thing ever gets back below 13, that could get pretty ugly.
Yeah, I'm with you on a lot of that talk. Did we just get something new? No, we did not. I was looking actually, man, should have got something new there. I was just calling up the, should I hit the bid? Or should I hit the ask? I was just calling this up because this was the only position that we had against us, was this Twitter. And I was like, where are some levels?
All right. I'm in it small right now. I don't like how big the candle is.
70 cents in the money. I was like, why is this down against me? We should have picked some up 69 and a quarter.
Still a level 2 because of the 1821.
79 and a quarter there on Twitter, I think, is a great one. We get this out at
16 points isn't that bad.
40, 60. We'll see if we get
It's just not 20 points.
70, 20 there on the upside. And then the only thing, my baby, apparently, Palantir, everyone thinks I love this stock so much. I do. I love to trade it. I'm not infatuated with it anymore. It's not moving as much as we like. I told you this was the only green candle there. That's why we got out of some of our trades there. And we'll watch Palantir. Hopefully it doesn't continue to fall, man, but we got to watch out for that 2250 level. Like, that's the danger zone for us. So if that comes through, man, we are watching out for for Palantir on that downside. I love that square take. And then here comes Twitter back to the downside. Let's see if we pick some up 69.70 in case that happens again.
Yeah, that was too tight a stop on square. You know, I'm gonna take another shot at it. Anytime that happens where you get wicked out like
yeah, that's why
I look back to how much I like that 250.
So I'm taking this small right now because of how the big of a candle that is. Usually whenever you see a big candle like that, you're gonna see a big rejection. So I took this small. I took it at 0.10% risk.
Big time at that 250 level. If it does hold around VWAP and give you a secondary push, I'll try to get back in on some consolidation. Brendo?
I had a quick read on this Nikola news, guys. This Rig 360 is a national sales and service network that they're teaming up with for the service of the Class 8 truck that they are allegedly going to make at some point. But not much of a reaction here. It was up in the pre-market for Nikola. Still positive, but heading southbound as well.
Okay, just looking here at what we're gonna do with Palantir. I just looked a little bit longer on this chart.
I'm probably gonna take this short right now.
That's the level that we're talking about. Hold. It's gotta hold that, and it's coming right back into it right now. You know, the Nasdaq
Everything's collapsing right now in the older industry, so probably the Nasdaq is gonna collapse too.
Getting a chance to do that, and you know, we're still long. We're gonna give it to 2250 down there. If it breaks 2275. Let's see if it can hold 2250. I mean, I can't just keep on picking these levels all the way down. So we're going to wait for 2250. I'm not going to average in until we get one more break, like 2260, something like that. My average price is not that bad.
Oh, wow. It's collapsing right now.
Well, now it's more. 15 cents away from where we are now. So we're not going to fall on a sword here, but we will try to defend this 2275. It's coming in right now, so watch out for 2250. It's really the only position that we're in trouble with. We've already cleaned out NEO. NEO was a monster trade. We took advantage of this pump up there. I thought it was going to go, but we took advantage of that. Now it's coming back in. Look at the Nasdaq puking. This is going to be in trouble. Let's take out Apple now. Apple is a nice trade for us. There it is. We take that out right now. That's a win off that. So nice trade on Apple. We're really happy, but the bears are coming in right now.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the bears coming in, we'll go a little William Kassouf action. Top OCGN. We got the top of that one at 730. That just cracked. I remember 680, 7 to 680 was that level. So take a bunch of shares out in front of 680. We're gonna get like a 50-cent win on that move there. And
all right, I like myself a break even right now. All right, I just got stopped out.
I'll go over the trade at some point because it was blocking discipline for me last time through. This time we actually get the flush. It's coming through 95. It just busted a huge level at 96. If 95 can't hold, there's a lot of room to the downside for Sundial. And
the reason why I locked myself at break even really fast is because of the 800 EMA is right over here, and then VWAP is like right over here.
I saw that Lee Auto is holding up for now, but looking relatively weak.
So that's why I fairly locked myself in break even. Plus my risk was about what, like, my risk was super small. It was 7 points, so yeah, I was up 1 R at that point. So I just locked myself at break even from that.
This is Vericity, guys. If you're wondering, Vericity Incorporated is the Nasdaq listing. Yes, they filed their full year results after market yesterday. Their fiscal full year results after market yesterday. But over on this side, The very good food company also made its debut on the
Or this last level right over here. So if we break this level, we're probably gonna go down.
The very good food company. This is Vericity, just so everybody knows, guys.
Yeah, insurance company, Vericity. I actually want to double check and see if I can't. I gotta make sure we have like.
Yeah, everything's still collapsing right now. Dow 30, use 500.
Churning through volume at 7 million here, and as I see it testing that 20 even, I gotta like a level like that if it's gonna go. But the concern for me is gonna be this re-auto that we're now dipped into it again.
Yeah.
Trying to test that 22 bottom. You know, we talked about defending 22 from time.
Whenever everything's collapsing, I mean, it's something that you definitely have to be careful with. The Nasdaq, I mean, liquid 50 is falling right now, so I mean, it's definitely possible that we continue going down later on the day if we break off that 50.
I'm going to look for some sortable shares in that very insurance or whatever you want to call it, not the very good food company.
Not very good food company. Okay, Lee Auto not doing wonders for Neil, but I guess I picked the stronger one today. You're long Lee Auto, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I picked a stronger one today. 38.20 right now for Neo, and we're long only at 16, but doesn't matter. We've already, like that's this trade right here. We've already cashed in, and this is my #1 stock, which is kind of funny because Apple wasn't good. Oh damn it, we got out way too long on that. Wait, VWAP break, whatever. I thought the Nasdaq was crashing there. Okay, so Apple bad out there, but that doesn't matter. Still a great trade for me. And then Twitter's been a great trade. There it is. Yes, sir. Didn't even notice that. We just got that right now. Twitter on the bump back up. We're waiting at 69.80. In, out. So there's like a little quick stop on Twitter. We hope to go higher on that name as well. And then Neo's just been cashed out. I do have an offer at 30 for Neo. So wow, big move up here in the Nasdaq. Wowzers, to say the least. And look what's happening to Palantir. You can go to hell, Palantir. This one didn't really get going on that move. Again, sure, we touched 77, but we went to 94. I guess that's the best move we can expect on Palantir. Let's take a bit more.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want to take something long right now.
Peloton, guys, just noticed a bit of a technical break. It looks like not seeing much in the way of headlines for this, but Peloton.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Peloton on the move, but Snapchat trying to make another move here to the upside as well. It's just look, you had a pre-market level here at 61.50. We're bouncing off VWAP. So same thing, kind of around that place.
Oh man.
Strength in the market, and talk about Twitter. Snap, I think they can make some similar moves if they get their act together. So I like the name. I'm going to keep buying around any kind of a VWAP dip if you can get it. I have no locates on that very. I'm going to keep checking.
I think I'm taking the 500 long right now.
Opportunities in that particular name, and I said there might be a bit of a bounce at 680 on Oxygen. It actually had to break through, go a few pennies, and now is trying to make a bit of a bounce here. So I'm still hanging on to the short. I think the next leg down would be anywhere at least to that like 650 level in the event that 675 does not hold. Looking to buy that dip on Snapchat, and of course, guess what's still going? That's where
I'm gonna go small risk right now, and then then add on these breaks right over here.
I think there's a decent chance you're buying a dip off of this one as well. So if it comes back to 52s, we'll take
just in case it does come down.
55, we'll take that.
So I'm risking the same as the last position, like 0.10.
My last buy on that one, we talked about that 212, so that was a good one for me, and hopefully for you guys as well. Neo, we just ring the register on that one as well, so we'll go upside. We just tweeted that out. You can follow us all on Twitter. Also, you can follow us on Instagram as well. I'll drop my Insta handle there. You can follow me. Drop me any notes you would like on that as well. Yeah, just looking around to see what else is popping here. We did get our Twitter. We talked about that one. And then Palantir. Look, I've been getting out on Palantir a little bit here.
Yep, looks like we're moving up now.
Looks like it wants to try to take VWAP, and that's volume weighted average price. It's what Neil and I use a lot.
Nasdaq looks really weird today.
We're going to keep going there. We've had great success with that. So here it comes up to 99.98. Again, I think I'm going to take a little. Whoa, nice move. I think we'll take a little bit off there. There it is. Okay, so 96s, 97s, they're out. You can see every time. Let's go. I'm waiting right here. There it is. A nice little tick there at 97. Let's see if it can keep on going then. We're in the money. We haven't missed anything yet today. We're positive on absolutely every name that we have today. And the only mistake we really made was dropping this Apple way too early. But so far, so good, man. Positive. We're one-time daily goal and making moves to the high side now to even beat that. As long as Palantir can keep going, we do have that. And check back on my Facebook. Over here. Check back on Facebook and see what that's doing. We don't have that today as it's falling down. Okay, Facebook. I'd like to see this. No, you guys should know to me about this. 310, 312.50 possibility here. FP, what up, V?
Hey Sean, Aris Medical Holdings is a popular name on the chat. Your stock is up almost 20% right now, guys.
Oh man, I was looking at Palantir. I even missed that symbol. What was it?
Ears.
Ears. Oh, ears. I hear you. Okay, let's go. Is that, you know what, I think that's is that an Amex stock, Neil? NQ. No, it's here on the NQ.
I think it's not.
Okay, ears. Yeah. Wow, nice little move. This has been a mover before. Yeah, okay, so we've seen this. We've heard of this before. This is not going to get, I mean.
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Okay.
Yo, bro, give me 1 second.
Yeah. Are you?
Take out its 50 period at 350. So we've missed this move, but if it comes back to 350, I think
Are you in Naz?
No. I'm in S&P 500 right now.
Yeah.
I think you're one of them. Remember 28 on CCL.
Are you on in the sell?
No, I'm buying it right now.
Divergence?
Yeah, level 1. Level 1 reset from previous price action. I'm just seeing what we're doing in the indices right now.
Yeah, Naz was choppy as fuck this morning.
Yeah, that's usual.
Yeah, stop me out right before it. I mean, stop me out with just for a couple of points.
Big move on 3 days ago. Remember, this actually happened all the way up there. There was some
For a couple of points. What were you taking it long?
Yeah, I was long. Yeah,
You're long?
yeah, I was long. Yeah, it stopped me right where it stopped me before taking off again. Yeah.
What level were you trying to take it off from?
I went in at when the L50 was swapping into the buy zone. In 1 minute, at around 13,745, stop loss was right at 25.
You said you were taking it off the 21, right?
Yeah.
Long and out, defended that 75, defended it again.
That's okay,
was
bro.
it-
I mean,
was-
we know
was
that
it-
the
what-
system worked.
But what level? I mean, on the 21 email, but like when was it? Like during London session?
No, right opening.
Oh, on the open. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's so like I wouldn't really recommend trading it off right off the open. Like it takes some skill basically, and just because there's the huge volatility, like you could expect spikes stopping you out fairly quickly. So for me, like, you know, it takes a little while. I try not taking, like, if it's choppy, like if I know pre-market was choppy, I try not like taking a trade right after the open, because that's usually a sign that, you know, the open's going to be choppy and like really choppy volatile as well.
Okay, so we completely avoid to trade as soon as the market opens, right?
Well, yeah. So that's what I would recommend for most people, because like it's, you know, it's a bit harder to trade. I would just recommend like practicing on it, you know, taking entries on the open on a demo account before you feel comfortable, you know, because like on an average open day, like, you know, you could expect spikes up to like 50 to 100 points in a matter of like what, like a minute, 2 minutes or whatever. So you know, it's unless you have your stop, unless you have your position size, like, you know, about, I don't know, 0.25%, and your stop loss is fairly big, like let's just say ADR is about 255 points like it is today, and then your stop is like about 30% of ADR, which is around 80 points, then yeah, I mean, yeah, you could do that for sure, because usually you won't see market open spike it like 30% of ADR like on the market open, but yeah, I mean, that's something I would just recommend, like taking it slowly, basically. But yeah, so you said you took it on the 21 EMA, right?
Yeah.
What time was it?
Yeah, it was right at opening, so it literally stopped me out to go.
I got you. On the market open. What were your entry?
My entry was let me go through it.
You can check.
I'm trading demo, so it's not that big of a deal, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm practicing because, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanna grasp the system 100% before I go full in, you know. So first of all, you know, as you said, that I should, like, it's, you know, it's more advisable not to trade at opening because of the volatility.
Yeah, for at least for the beginners, you know, until you get more experience with it, yeah, that's what I would recommend. Yeah.
So in like average, like on an average, do you mostly take trades like within like after an hour that the market opens?
Yeah, I mean, usually like within the first hour after the market opens, I took a trade. I'm already done for the day. Most on the average day, yeah. Sometimes I'll just keep on trading just because if it's really like hot, the market's really hot right now, then I would just go ahead and start trading as well.
Okay, bro. So do you mind like for example, do you see any setup currently right now
Not on
that
the Nasdaq, yeah, no, not on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is just on these days, like whenever it's just it's making new highs and etc. But like at the same time, like it's not giving you any entries. Like it's some days where the Nasdaq is just basically trending up, and it's holding the 8 EMA on the 15-minute chart. But at the same time, it's not giving you any entries. Yeah, you could take a level 2 or a level 1 reset off that 50, off a bounce off of 50, or off the 21 EMA if it gives you a risk box entry. If there was a primary level 1 in the past, but I mean it's just a little bit harder whenever it's just trendy up, and stuff like that. And even on later on the day, Nasdaq gets a little bit choppy, so like during the afternoon. So whenever you do trade those bounces in the afternoon, it just it's a bit choppy, right? So you're gonna see like consolidation off that 50 or 21, and then maybe it doesn't even go up. Maybe like because there's divergence, it's overbought, which is typical on. It's typical whenever it's in the afternoon and it's been trending up, right? So it's typical. So I usually, I would recommend just, being careful with those entries, being smaller risk because, I've seen it so many times where it just bounces off that 50, it bounces off that 50 level and then just makes a lower high and then just continues going down at least toward, the 200 EMA or just, it just chops its way around under the 50 and then it continues going up. So I mean, like the direction is right, of course, but I mean, like taking those entries with relatively like smaller stops, like a 15 to 20 point stop, it's gonna. I just got stopped out right now. I break even. But yeah, so I mean, with those stops like that, you just have to be really careful. Like whenever you're in profit, this is what I do. Is whenever you're in profit, I would just lock my stop at break even. Because I mean, you could always re-enter it at the same time. It's not really a big deal. Because again, it's the market, right? The market is full with opportunities, endless opportunities. So you don't have to, you don't have to basically feel sad that you got stopped out. You could always re-enter if the setup still goes your way and makes a higher low, everything looks good and whatever. So like for me right now, I just got stopped out on S&P 500. And if it could continue toward my direction. I mean, liquid 50s is trying to trend up right now. MACD, it was in the summer, it's still in the summer right now. So I mean, it could just make a higher low and then continue going higher. So there's no really you could always basically like you have to have that mindset where you have endless opportunities, right? Not to basically get emotional about an entry, because again, you could always re-enter again. There's no basically like there's not an opportunity that you won't ever see again and that you missed out. You have to like basically take that FOMO out of the way. Even whenever you see Nasdaq like just trending up and you want to get into a trade, it's just better to just basically like if you're feeling FOMO and you're wanting to get in on something that's not quite there with the setup, it's just better to kind of just start getting away from the charts and stuff like that. I think you give it some room to 228. No longer need to have that same stop through, and if it bounces off 80s, I can reload back in.
Yeah, Twitter is taking out the high right now. Good talk there. Yeah, SNDL. Yeah, no, I'll just ask. I didn't know your number one stock was there, so I'm glad it's SNDL because I know that's one of your babies for sure. And then okay, here goes Twitter up to 71 now. So that's a good trade, man. We'll just keep on riding that bull. We talked about it, and I didn't get a chance to post the sticky note, although I feel Like, I mean, I should be posting this thing every day. There's Twitter 70, there's Neo, there's Apple, there's Palantir, and there's Square. Like, that's all that's on this list here, guys. So there's my sticky note. Maybe I'll put it up just for future reference. But
All right, so right now in the Nasdaq, we're seeing divergence. So, I mean, you could something that you have to be careful with right there.
Okay, Palantir looks like we don't have any losing stocks today, so we're super happy. And it looks like
On the downside, right?
Yeah,
we will be-
I mean, look at that. Like, just seeing the momentum from the 21 to the 50, you can see how it's dropping really fast. So, I mean, you could go ahead. I mean, it's hard shorting something. Like, looking at the 50-minute chart, it's hard shorting something whenever it's been very bullish lately. And Liquid 50's up in the buy zone, MACD's up in summer. So, yeah, you can short it, but it's it's going to be a little bit harder because it could give you false signals. So, I mean, for me, I would just rather, like, trade something that's one of the indices that is bearish. So, like, the Dow 30, like the Dow 30 or the S&P 500. I mean the S&P 500. So I would trade one of those if it gives me an entry, which there's no entry there. I mean, for me, I could take a collapsing dragon, which it's not one of the MLS entries. It's one of the entries that I use whenever the market is falling, and it's kind of just a tool that I use whenever market's crashing, and then I can take that as an advantage, and as well as whenever price action just does not want to trend up, right? Especially after the market open, whenever it's really weak toward the upside, I use that tool to just basically short it. Which the collapsing dragon does not require divergence. I mean, it can have divergence for sure.
Oh, I didn't get that 86 still. So let me see if I can get some 87 on CCL.
But it's the divergence is pretty hidden on the NAS because you can it's slight, right?
What do you mean?
Like I'm looking at the NAS in the 1 minute, and I mean the trade. I mean I took it on the demo. Stop at 13,770. Entry at 750, and
What are you taking it long or short?
short. As I said, I'm on demo, so I'm just trying shit out,
Yeah. So it's not hidden divergence because hidden divergence is basically the opposite of bearish divergence. It's just basically price action coming price action coming down and then RSI coming down. That's hidden divergence. So it's the divergence is still there. Like you can see it. It's coming from off the. If you look at the 50-minute chart, like it's struggling above it's close to ADR as well. So it's struggling above 13770. As well as you see how the Liquid 50 is coming down, and then the RSI is making lower highs. You can see that on the 50-minute chart. Liquid 50 is falling. MACD is falling, but it's still in summer mode. And then this bearish divergence. So that's usually like a bearish sign where price action will eventually follow. For me, if I would want to take this short, I would probably take it short off the 800 EMA. Just because I don't want to.
Where do you look at? Are you always in the 1 minute? What kind of time frames are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, typically I'm looking at the 1 minute. Like sometimes I want to look at which levels it's bouncing from. So I look at in the trading plan, you'll see all the time frames that I use. The unorthodox time frames, so the 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, the 1 daily chart, of course, the 4 hour chart, the 30-minute chart. Usually the 30 minutes. Usually I look at the 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 3 hour, and 4 hour. Those are usually the time frames that I look at most. And of course, like the 15-minute chart.
And it isn't even giving you any good growth to the upside. Now from here, if it gets anywhere close to 95, I'm going to jump all over that 95 for reload.
You're muted, bro.
No way back into it.
Who?
He's trying to talk to you, but he muted, bro.
No. I was talking. I muted myself on purpose.
Yeah. So right now, I think what Nasdaq is not giving me too much plays right now. I mean, usually throughout the day you'll see another play. So I think if it continues going down, it's probably going to come down toward the 800 EMA, and if it breaks over the 800 EMA, then it's probably going to go toward the next level on the 50-minute chart, which is a 200 EMA. So I'll wait for that. But right now I'm looking to take I'm looking to take S&P 500 short right now.
DOGZ, if you're wondering, up big time today on that, but trying to hold above $2, guys, on huge volume.
DOGZ. Oh, that reminds me of STIC. Let's go out quick look at that one. Yeah, this is going to be.
Are you getting into that right now, you said?
All these
Yeah.
stacks, man. Like we got involved with some of these early. Oh, let's go. The day chart is better than this. There's no volume on these things. I think I'm long in the 13s. I'll double check all these prices and get back to you right now. But I still like BarkBox here. Let's just wait to see what is going to happen. I mean, I wonder if some of these SPACs don't even happen. Like.
So something that I do for myself is just so I could, whenever I'm taking aggressive entries, which I mean usually on an average day, sometimes I will take aggressive entries. I usually just have, you know, not a tighter stop loss, but a bigger stop loss with the same risk. So if I'm risking about 0.30%, I'll use the same risk, even a little, maybe sometimes smaller risk, but a bigger stop. So instead of like 15 points, I'll risk about, instead of like 15 points, I'll be using like, you know, 20 points or 30 points. And so the reason for that is just for me to basically have a bigger risk size, right? So I mean it's the same position size, so it's the same risk, but a bigger basically stop size, so a bigger point size. And so whenever I see the trade go against my direction, and like I see that, okay, now it looks like the liquid 50 is rising, MACD looks like it's rising, and then price action is really choppy and I want to get out. So what I do is just basically I will get out half of my risk on my original risk. So I'm risking around 0.30%, with about 20 points or 15 points. I'll get out around 7 points with my risk being about 0.15%. So that just allows me to basically get out small, lose small. And yeah, sometimes I'll lose small constantly, which is fine for me because I know my winners are going to be much more huge than those losers. And that's kind of like, you know, that's when you know you have an edge. You know you have your statistics in your advantage, and you know that, yeah, I'm risking small, but I know that, you know, with the more risk reward that I get, I have potential to make way more than my losses, especially if my losses are small and stuff like that. So sometimes, you know, you'll have, for me, I try to get out most of my positions at break even, so I'll get out break even or even really small losses on that. So about 0.10, 0.15%, 0.25%. Those are my average losses on an average day. Like I don't really lose about 0.5% or even three quarters of a percent, just really small. And then my winners are usually much more huge than that. So about 0.5%, a quarter percent, 0.75%, 1%, because of my risk reward ratios and stuff like that.
Yo, let me ask you, what was the reasoning behind you getting into the S&P 500 right now for a short?
It's a collapsing dragon, so I'm taking this as a collapsing dragon toward the downside right now. So it's not an entry, it's not an MLS entry. I'm just taking it toward the downside right now because, again, like we're seeing a rejection off the market open. We saw a bounce back up, and then basically made a lower high, and then continued, and then it just rejected right away. So whenever you see that, it's a collapsing dragon. I don't know if you can see it, but like, you know, hump comes up, makes a lower high, and then hump right there.
It's coming back down in. The only issue here, man, the Nasdaq Puke City. Like we're already.
And it looks like the Nasdaq is short. It's going right now, so I would go ahead and take mine short right now. You know, with my stop loss being around.
I mean S&P and S and US 30, they kind of all look like short buys.
Yeah, I just took mine short on the Nasdaq. I have like a.
Did you do it because it broke the EMAs?
Yeah. I mean, usually since it's not the entry off that 50 or 200, I take mine smaller risk because it's not coming from the 50, but it's still breaking from EMA, and you know the setup is still there.
Now let's see what happens to the upside. We saw the 75 bid, but we are watching the Nasdaq kind of head southbound right now. There it is. So there's our
And where did you execute the trade from? From what time frame?
On the 1 minute. It's all the entries are taken on the 1 minute.
On the Nasdaq, right?
Off the midpoint, off the VWAP, and I finally added a little bit more sundial, and all over this is a try to roll.
So the optimal is, you know, wait half an hour to an hour before the market opens before putting any position in, correct?
Typically, like I would just say like around like maybe like 15 minutes. maybe 15 to 30 minutes after the market opens.
That first candle, right? That first 15-minute candle.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that. Yeah, just a little bit of time, just so the volatility kind of just dies out and gives you more direction instead of just like insane pushes. Yeah. And I just.
Did that stop you out?
No. I have my stop at almost 17 points right now.
Oh, you took it off the break of the 800, right?
Yeah, I took it off the break of the 800.
I didn't even see the 800 down there. So I was wondering why you took it. Nah, it makes sense now.
Even the ones that worked out for you, sometimes where you didn't reload where you wanted to because you got a little bit greedy.
Yeah. So I mean, let's see what it does here. I mean, liquid 50 now is coming down towards the sell zone. So I mean, it's typical whenever you see these kind of red or green moves like that, because it is a Nasdaq, it's a stock market. So whenever you're trading those levels, and you're trying to take it short, it is typical whenever you see those red or green bounces like that, like a quick bounce off the 800 EMA and then a quick bounce up.
And then did you also look at, was the MACD? It was in winter, right?
Yeah, it was in winter. All right, so
So that also gave you confluence to get in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna get. I just got out of the Nasdaq right now.
One question with the with the entry, like let's say, you know how you got in that once it broke the 800. Would you wait? Did you wait for that candle to close, or do you just wait for it to break it? Once it breaks it, you get in.
I would wait for it. Usually, I'm looking whenever I'm looking like to trade momentum. I usually look for the break of the 800 EMA, but you know.
So you don't wait for the close. You don't have to wait for the close.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly.
Just read something about Cardano. That would be all good.
For sure.
Actually, I should have asked Raheem about it, but I mean, we were talking about NFTs.
But I mean, like right now, like with the Nasdaq right now, I mean, liquid 50 is still falling, and the MACD is still in winter mode. So we'll see what it does if it eventually wants to break that. If it breaks toward the level below that, you know that it wants to come lower.
So let me ask: if you're on the 1 minute right now on the Nasdaq, right? You see how the MACDs, see how they just crossed?
Yeah, that's spring mode. Yeah.
So does that mean that there could be a potential breakout to the upside?
No, that's just. I mean, if you look at the videos in the course, spring mode just gives you an indication of weakness toward the short side, and maybe the potential of a leg forming toward the upside. So it's not like an indication that it's gonna go up right away. Like that's summer mode. Spring mode is just basically an indication that weakness is coming up, weakness is coming down, right? So, I mean, weakness toward the short side is happening.
So it wouldn't necessarily make you get out of a trade. Like it wouldn't be something where you're like, oh shit, I need to get out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unless it goes up into summer mode.
Once it hits summer mode, if it hasn't hit your stop loss, you just get out.
Yeah, I mean you can if you want. Yeah, for sure. I mean if it still indicates, like, if you still believe in the setup, like the higher time frames are there and the it's bearish and stuff like that, then for sure.
Oh, this thing's dropping, boy.
So it's giving me like kind of a level 2 right there. So I'm gonna wait for this time I'm gonna wait for it close below the 800 EMA.
Level 2 is that bounce off of the EMA, right? It came back up to EMA and bounced back. Is that the level 2?
Yeah.
Which EMAs are for the level 2? The 21 or?
It's a 21 or 50. Did you I sent everyone the the spreadsheets, not the spreadsheets, but like the little graphics for the level 1s and level 2s, so it'll be a little bit easier for people.
Did you send it? Wait, you sent this in the Discord?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's a graphics that tell you exactly what the level 1, level 2, and level 3 is.
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it.
Hold on, I haven't seen it. Let me check.
it's having a lot of trouble rounding out. So I want to be holding this, and I'm going to hold on to these last shares. It's only 20% of the position for above VWAP and any kind of a push, but the market is going to have to give us a big time assist on this one here today. So I'm out of Tesla, holding some CCLs to the long side. If you see me not short Sundial today,
And
So
alright,
I'm
so
I'm out on S&P 500 right now. This bullish divergence right now forming toward the upside, so that could be an indication that it wants to pop higher. Right now, it looks like it just does not want to continue going down. Like it's stalling. Like it comes up and then comes back up. So it's stalling off the. It's not even stalling off a level right now. It's just stalling at 4,800. So we'll see if it eventually does want to come down. But right now, it looks like the Nasdaq is giving me a better level 2, so it's a better setup than the S&P 500 because there's no divergence against me.
Now I'm going to put some more bids on the downside here of PLTR. And again, you know, I've sort of switched up my game, if you guys can tell. Like, I'm trying to stay with the names that I know are working and that I have good reads on that I've done the work with. So again, like, I'll put this up for you guys, but I mean, these are the lists here. Everything that I have on
Yeah, the S&P 500 is just super consolidated, right?
Yeah, it's probably because of the bullish divergence. Whenever you see divergence right there, it just does not make any sense.
On the RSI.
Yeah.
most disappointing winning trade is going to be Square today, no question.
So that would be a kickoff.
I do get what you're saying when the Nasdaq is more, it moves the smooth, like the most smooth out of the three. Because US 30 is so choppy,
Oh shit, it is.
so fucking choppy.
Mm-hmm.
Nasdaq has more of, like kind of like a fucking flow to it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it kind of works, you know, better with the EMAs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Right now, like, let's see, the Nasdaq is just stalling at that same level. So, yeah, we'll see if it wants to break it. If it breaks it and closes it, that's where I'm entering.
Did you get in for that level 2?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for the close below the 800 EMA. Since it's an actual level 2, I'll be looking to take probably like a 0.25%, a little bit 0.30%, or even 0.5%. We'll see. For me right now, like I want to see like clean moves. Like, you know, I don't want to see like balances and consolidations. Like usually whenever I look at my levels, I want clean price action and, you know, and stuff like that just indicates like a clean move toward the downside.
Right.
So right now I'm not seeing that. Like it's been pretty choppy. Like on the market open, it was choppy. Right now, 1821 EMAs, or I mean the bounce off the 800 EMA, it's choppy. So right now, like, you know, I know that most of these indices right now, like S&P 500 stalling at the same level, and then Dow 30 stalling at the same level. So it's a little bit choppy on direction. So especially Dow 30. Dow 30 right now looks like it just.
The thing just shot up. I didn't see that.
You're not going to catch absolutely everything, so you get your attention over what is working, and you try to stick to that. And I've gotten away from having 8 or 9 positions, which sometimes is pretty manageable, but I have felt that sometimes when you're trading something like the CCL, like the bottom pick, or you're working into a Tesla, it's just a little more hard to catch all these moves. 14 was a short, but look at this pre-market level just before 9 o'clock, or just at 9 o'clock, I should say, right into like 9:20 or so, holding this 13 even on rice, and so you get that flush through, like you guys talk, or some of you guys were talking about here, and it's been holding this 13 area. So I actually like a 13.
Now, do you ever? You wouldn't take a level 2 off the 200, would you?
Selling off.
I mean, a level 2 is only valid if the 821 EMAs are in the proper upshift. So if it's in the downshift, then you can take a level 2. If it's in the upshift and it's coming toward the 21 or 50, then you can take it. Typically, if it gets to the 200 EMA, most likely the 821 EMAs are not going to be in the proper shift.
Let's say it didn't break that 8 or 21. It bounced off. You would wait for would you wait for a certain candle pattern, like an engulfing, or?
Yeah, you could either take it as a risk box or an engulfing pattern.
What is going on? My pick. Look at Palantir go. Let's go. Spin the money. Like, are you guys trading this with me or what? Like, how much love do we have on this chat for Palantir?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it is harder to short any indices at all, because again, it is the stock market. You know, it's not like Forex. Like, whenever you short something on Forex, it's much more easier. Whenever you short something on these indices and it's in like on a bull market, it's extremely hard. It's gonna give you false signals, and then you're gonna see bounces off levels really fast. So like we saw on the 800 EMA, like it just bounced off really fast, like in the initial bounce. So it is much more harder to short it whenever you try and short something.
What was your stop loss on this? On this
I haven't taken this level 2 yet.
Now into the money. We have no negative stocks today, so what that means is the King has returned. Jerry the King Lawler. We like Jerry the King Lawler from WWE days. But yeah, good one. We like that one as the Wiz. You guys like the Wiz or the King better? Let me know here on the chat. Here goes Twitter though. Let's take a little bit off. We're at 69.90.
You do any, Jace? You do any crypto? Are you invested into any crypto or no?
Not too much right now, but I am. Right. Before I leave, I am looking to.
One of the greatest calls of all time by the King himself.
Alright, so right now, like, so I don't know. Right now on the Nasdaq, so this will be a level 1 reset because it is coming out from a primary level from previous price action, and it's still making higher lows. And yeah, there's no divergence on a level 1 reset, but you can still take it. You can still take it as long as there's a risk box entry or an engulfing pattern.
No break at that 13 even. I actually don't want to even fade into this one at 14. It's basically going to be the 13 even break or nothing for me. I'm going to check out the WPG stock scanner if you can, if I can, in just a quick second. But I have to cover a couple of other names that we've been in already. And I talked about Tesla. Didn't catch that 685 break, which stinks. Of course, 687 is where it goes to. So, look, I take it off a little bit early. Don't get the reload position. It didn't give you the bounce. Anticipating it was going to roll over when the market was testing that low, and I get a bit of a dip buy. It worked the first time. I don't get it the second time through.
So far I'm down about less than a quarter percent, which is, I mean, that's not a lot. Yesterday I was up 2% on the whole move on the Nasdaq. So it's better, like, whenever you have days like this, whenever it's choppy, not to give too much of your losers. Like for me, I take 3 losses and I'm done for the day. That's usually my rules. Like if I take more than 3 losses, then I'm pretty much done for the day. So I'm done. Like I only have 2 losses right now, so I have 1 more trade. But if I see how choppy the market is or whatever, and it's consolidating at a certain point, I'm usually just done for the day. And just wait for the next day to happen, whatever.
Like let's say, like after you take 3 trades, are you still emotional to it?
I try not to be. Like I try to get off the charts. If I am emotional about annoyed, usually I'm not emotional. I'll just say annoyed that the Nasdaq is just super choppy and it's not giving me these levels that I want, like these bounces off these levels. So I'll just be really annoyed. So then I if I'm annoyed, I'm just, it's just better to close out of your charts. Not look at something that's pissing you off or whatever. So, which happens sometimes. Like I get annoyed at the Nasdaq. I get annoyed at indices whenever they're not working normally, whenever they're choppy and they're not bouncing off certain levels. And on those days, it's good to step back up, because like on those days, it's easier for you to lose money, a lot of money. If you're just emotional, the Nasdaq's not giving you the direction. It's choppy. You can see how choppy it was. Pre-market was choppy. The market open was choppy. Those are indications. Like pre-market was choppy. The market open was choppy. None of my entries, none of the entries are working. Like it's just, I wouldn't say working, but I would say like choppy. Like you could see it bounces off that level, gives you an entry, comes back up, and then just chops its way into like a range or whatever. So on those days, I would say just take a step back. I mean, for me, like I always try to look at something else. Like if the Nasdaq is not really giving me something, I'll look at the Dow 30 or the S&P 500. And if I see like the whole sector, the whole market is choppy, then I'm pretty much done for the day. Sometimes I look at Forex. Like I know UJ, like usually I like trading UJ during New York session. If there's entries, and I know UJ just UJ has been really bearish lately. So
are you looking at Nasdaq right now?
Yeah.
If it breaks its 800 again,
yeah, I'll enter. Yeah, I'll enter on that. So we'll see. I'm looking for a close below that.
You're waiting for it to close below it?
Yeah.
Just because it keeps bouncing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like right now, it's just bouncing on that same level.
Would that be considered a level 1? If you once you break that 800 or
So the 21A and 21 EMAs are still in the proper shift, so they haven't reset yet, which is a good sign too for the downside. So it would be a level 2. Yeah.
level 2.
Yeah.
Level 2 because that red candle bounced off of it.
Level 2 because the 8 and 21 EMAs are still in the proper shift.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's respecting that 800.
Yeah, it's a really significant level.
And 10:30, guys. Coming up, speaking of cannabis, we're going to have another great guest coming through in about 45 minutes. Yeah, Gauge Growth coming through. We're going to talk to Fabian, the CEO in the cannabis space, guys. Stick around for that.
Yeah, just keeps on bouncing off that level.
It is 10:30 now. That means there's an hour left in the session over in Europe. What is up in Europe?
Gold fucking flying.
But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I mean, I'm not investing too much in crypto, just because right now I don't feel comfortable trading, like, at least investing into Bitcoin a lot into it, just because it's like, I know there's gonna be a bear market soon. That's just typical on a crypto market. You know, there's gonna be insane upside moves and then insane downside moves. So right now I don't feel comfortable like investing like thousands of dollars into crypto. But I mean, I am like, before I leave next week, I am gonna like restock my whole portfolio wise. So I will be investing like about 25% more into crypto with like Sterling, not Sterling, but XLM and Compound and
What are your thoughts on
Cardano.
XRP?
Nah, I'm not trading XRP. I mean, I'm not. Usually, I want companies that are like I've done research on them. I want companies that are not too sketchy. That, you know, the SEC or whatever, the Attorney General can just basically like do something and just fuck the crypto coin all the way down. You know, because that's something that I'm afraid of. You know, just the regulators just basically look at that and say, oh, you know, like that's stupid. Like, you know, they're doing something fishy. Like, for example, like Tether, the Attorney General sued them because they said that they have 100% American dollars reserves. The Tether is pegged toward the American dollar, and they didn't. They only had about 70% of reserves of the American dollar to the Tether. So they lied to the customer saying that it's 100% guaranteed or whatever. And so the Attorney General like sued them for like about like $25 million. There was like a whole bunch of like sketchiness that played out with Tether and stuff like that. So I mean, like for companies like that, I don't like that. Like, I want something that's, you know, that has a, you know, fairly good, loyal and ethic people running behind it, and as well as, you know, I believe in the fundamentals and what they believe in, what they want to improve on. So XLM, you know, Stellar, you know, it's a fairly good company. But, you know, I know the owner. I mean, the owner used to be he used to run Ripple with the other owner until he quit because of some issues that was happening at that time. So like for me, like, you know, I like looking at those details because it helps me kind of just grasp like the risk that I'm taking whenever I'm investing in those cryptos.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean crypto's cool, but like I really just invest more into stocks and ETFs.
Oh, you're holding some stocks, you said?
Oh yeah, I just invested way more stocks this week because I'm leaving next week, so I'm shifting my whole portfolio into more ETFs, more stocks, and not like stocks that that are way overvalued, like tech stocks right now. They're so overvalued right now, so yeah, there's no way I'm investing heavily into those stocks, but like stocks that have been down lately, the sectors that I believe in. So for me, I'm more.
You see Coinbase is gonna be live on the Nasdaq.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get some shares before I leave.
Yeah,
Coinbase.
definitely gonna get some shares of that. For sure. I think it was on the 13th. I think, right?
I think it was. I don't know. I think maybe a little bit after the 13th.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, this Nasdaq is being crazy right now.
It's choppy. You can see how choppy it is right now. So I mean, eventually maybe it'll give us a bigger move, or something, or give me a big, like a better entry. But right now, Not really anything
The,
interesting.
would you be looking? Are you still right now? If you look at the MACDs, they're starting to come up into summer mode, right? So would it be like? Would you start to look for buys now since it's starting to come up close to that 0?
Yeah. I mean, looking at the liquid 50, it's falling right now in the 1 minute, and then you can see how the RSI and TL is rising. That's something I don't like to see. I want to see both, like all three moving averages, all basically all three lines just confluence to each other. That's not what I'm seeing right now. So I mean, and it's been choppy. So I'm very like, you know, like worried to just take another entry right away. Like I would want to see confirmations, and I want to see like what direction it finally wants to take. Like, cause like the range right now on the market open, it's about like 61 points. So we'll see what it eventually wants to do.
So would you say the liquid 50 is you would how do I say this? Not more important, but more, I guess, like a more dominant confluence than the MACDs. You look at the L50.
I'll look at both. Like both are extremely important, at least to my trading. MACD just gives me like that extra edge, especially this kind of MACD. Like this MACD is different from all the other MACDs, so I don't know. It just the perspective of everything, how the specific MACD works. It gives you a better perspective on the market, and then you could use that as your advantage.
Right.
As this goes on, just to show you here, I had my initial short in the pre-market here. The test bill, I got flat. I was like, what am I doing? Let's just get into this 199, 99 half, and that's all I had as it went down. I couldn't get anything until 90.
Yeah, I mean right now it looks like it's choppy on both directions. Like it looks like it wants to go up and then comes down, comes up. Candles on the 1 minute are choppy. You can see how, they're like very indecisive candles. They're not giving us like pure momentum candles. So like price action right now is indecisive on what it actually wants to do. So it's something to look at and just be careful with.
Right, so I got a question, bro. So when you're looking at these indices, right, and you're seeing this big change of directions, and it's hard to determine which way the market is gonna end up going, obviously, however, when looking at both MACD and TDI, let's say like we can still take a trade if the L50 is approaching the buy zone, but it's still in the sell zone, right?
Could you repeat that?
Like, like for example, if the L50 is still sitting at in the sell zone, but it's starting to approach the buy zone, we see the RSI and the trend line. I think you saw that. I think you were saying that on the course, that basically the RSI and the trend line, they need to respect the L50 and bounce from it, correct?
Yeah, I mean they don't need to, but whenever you see those bounces off that liquid 50, it's very good signs of just respecting it, and then you can use that as your advantage whenever you're trading. Like if it's bouncing up toward the upside, you could take that advantage of, like, let's just say like it comes up on the 15-minute chart and the RSI and TL bounces off that liquid 50. You could take that bounce as your advantage on the 1 minute if it's giving you more extra confidence or more like respectively. If it bounces off the liquid 50 on the 15-minute chart, you're gonna see a lot of momentum happen, right? So on the 1 minute, you can take that as your advantage, and get in on an entry on whatever entry it is, like level 1, level 2, level 3, and take advantage of that.
I talked a little bit about the couple of losses. That's why you stay away from like bad reading those two. I haven't gone back to Hall of Fame Entertainment. I haven't gone back to.
Yeah, right now, like you can see how choppy it is. Comes up, comes down, comes up, super choppy. So I think eventually it is going to break off this range. It's just going to take a lot of time. I think the direction it wants to take is probably short biased. So we'll see what it eventually does. I'm sure we'll be off the 800 EMA once we close below it.
Hey guys, now let's have a look at the S&P S&P 500. See what's in charge so far.
And it's always on the 1 minute. It's the 800 EMA on the 1 minute, correct?
For what?
When you're looking for a close under the 800 EMA, you I mean it's the 800 EMA on the 1 minute, correct?
No, I look for the close like it doesn't have to be off the 800 EMA. Like if I'm taking another like a different entry, it could be off that 50 EMA or 200 EMA. It just depends on like on what I'm taking. But right now, like yeah, on the 800 EMA, it's gonna be on the 1 minute chart.
Worth noting in positive territory, some of the hotels showing some relative strength. Relative strength from Etsy again, 3.25% in positive territory. Banks are also weak here, mostly from the insurance companies and the individual names. Some strength coming from the diversified group. Information technology stocks, pretty much all in positive territory.
Yeah, so right now, like
NASDAQ and basically nothing else. Rest of this board,
bit choppy.
Constellation Brands did report 5.2% to the downside for STZ. Guys, back to you.
I was just getting ready, picking the feet up here, because this is what's happening right now, man. Look at Palantir. I mean, we're back upside now. We don't have too many shares left, but we're at 23 even right now. As it just continues to go to the high side now, and like, I don't know. This has just been such a good trade. We're up decent amount. We don't show our P&L, but
so right now, like it looks like price action is coming back up. So now you'll be looking like once you start seeing the MACD come up and the RSI and Liquid 50 come up, then you'll be looking for buy. So for me, like if I'm looking for an entry right now, I'm looking for it to break off divergence, previous divergence, which was toward the upside, and then after it does that, then I'll be looking to take like a bounce off the 21 or 50 EMA, which I mean it is typical. Like right now it's bouncing off the 800 EMA. So once it breaks off the previous divergent level toward the upside, and then I'll be looking to take a bounce off that 50 or 21 EMA. Right now you can see how the EMAs are closer right now with the 208 and 21 right now. So you could expect maybe a breakout soon off that after a ranging kind of price action the last couple of 30 minutes.
What I really liked about, I mean, I took this trade on the demo on US 30. The reason why I got in was because I don't know if you want to go look at US 30 real quick.
Yeah.
On the 1 minute, what it basically did, it started to hold the L50, the trend line and the RSI started to hold the L50 so well, and they were all approaching the buy zone.
Yeah.
And it's about to hit 1R. Let's see.
Yeah. You could also use look at all the other indices like US 30 and S&P 500 are not that correlated, but correlated. So if you want to see what direction the whole market is taking, you can look at these other indices to give you better correlation on what the whole market is doing. So if it's going up, if Dow 30 and S&P 500 are going up right now, then you could expect the tech sector or the NASDAQ to follow as well. So right now that's the same thing. Like S&P 500 is rising, Dow Jones is rising. Looks like the NASDAQ is slowly following the same thing as they're doing.
Away from that one. I don't like the risk reward of paying for that short. I've already gotten back into some blink here, and I got some shares here on a pop into 45.07. I scalped once for 50 pennies. I'll go ahead and try to do the exact same thing. If it breaks the high of the day, fair enough. We'll basically be flat on the trade at that point. I do want to come back over to where's my sundial? I want to come back over to sundial. Rounds out. Actually might give me a shot. Now, of course, I was looking at that 94 half. It's just basically teetering right around that level. I do have some bids this time to get out in the low 93s, of course, but the longer it holds this consolidation, I might actually dig into a few more shares and go like.
Yo, are you looking at NASDAQ right now?
Yeah. So it's
on the 1 minute, you see how the MACDs went over into summer mode?
Yeah.
And the EMAs are showing bullish, right? The 8 and the 21.
Yeah, they're in the upshift right now. Yeah, correct. So yeah, we're seeing a breakout right now.
Would this have been a good move to get into?
So for me, so I mean, let me share my screen because I don't know if you guys can see my screen on the live stream.
No, oh no, we're not in. Oh shit, we didn't. Oh shit, I didn't know.
So like right now, right over here, you can see that you can see the previous levels on this, right? So coming all the way from here, you can see levels coming off here, and then right over here, you can see another level happening, right? So this is a level 1 reset coming from, you know, primary level 1. This would be your first entry here, giving you the first leg up, right? Then comes down, gives you the second leg up, and then comes down. So this leg toward the downside, it hasn't broken. The first leg right over here. If it breaks, then the entry isn't valid, but it hasn't broken, so it's still making higher lows right there. It's still making a higher low, so it is a valid entry. So this is a level 1 reset, same thing as the other one right over here. But for me, I didn't take it because of how choppy it was. It was just
So
really
where would
choppy.
you have gotten in on this level 1 reset right here? This new leg that you didn't get into. Like if you were to get into it, where would you?
I would probably wait for the MACD to go into summer mode with the signal 5 line, which is the yellow line, and then you know I would wait for, of course, the RSI and liquid 50 to come in. So once we saw like a bounce back here and then a fall down here and then another bounce back up here, making a higher low. You can see how it's making a higher low here. You know, decent higher low right over here. I would probably just, you know, want to get in here on this entry. As you could see it, you could also see a counter formation happening right over here as well. With this counter formation happening right over here. So I'd probably get in right over here on the break of the 50 and 200 EMA, which is right over here as well. And I know, since, you know, I talked about this in the course, that whenever EMAs are clustered, you know, you're gonna see a breakout eventually, you know, because again, EMAs like to break out, right? So I probably would have gotten in around this area right over here, with my stop loss being right over here, and then I know risk reward would have given me about 1-1.
So bro, and when getting out, you're looking, for example, like let's say now that you would have gotten into this trade right here, you would look to get out when the price is starting to you know, it's starting to break those EMAs right there, right?
Yeah, for the level 1 entry, yeah.
Wait, you would get out where?
Wait, what?
Leo said you would get out once it breaks that first EMA. What do you mean by that?
No, I didn't. Wait. I didn't get his question.
Leo
So,
was asking you, hey, like, let's say you got into this, right? And he said it breaks one of these EMAs. Would you get out of that?
so for me, the only way I would get out of it is, I mean, I know the liquid 50 is rising, RSI is rising, MACD is rising, so I know it's bullish. So I probably, in these other indices are bullish as well. So I know that the probabilities of it just coming back up and then just going back down fully, you know, are quite slim. So I would probably put my, you know, get out on the break of the 15-200 EMA with a strong bearish candle. If it breaks really fast on these, you know, on the 50 and 200 EMA, or, you know, whenever we see, you know, whenever we see.
You wouldn't just hold it till it hits your stop loss?
Not if I know that it's not gonna go toward my direction. Like right now, like it looks like it wants to go to my direction because of the MACD, RSI, TL, and it's, you know, there's divergence right over here. It breaks toward the 50, so, you know, the probabilities of it bouncing off this level and coming back up are high. So for me, I would just wait and give it room for it.
Right.
You know, but if it was like something else, a different entry, and, you know, I know that the probabilities of it, you know, coming back up are slim, then I'll probably get out off the 50 and 200 EMA.
Okay, that makes sense.
But right now, like, it looks like it just needs a little bit of room to do.
Yeah, it looks very bullish right now.
And you could also use like the older indices to see what, you know, how bullish they are. So you can see how the Dow 30 is coming up right now. S&P 500 as well.
Yeah, it was on our watch list and we talked about why. So let's just.
Oh shit.
Fading out. I kind of knew that, but it was a big.
So do they kind of move in sync? Nasdaq, Dow.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a stock. Yeah, it's a stock market. Like the whole sector, the whole market moves in correlation, in some correlation together.
Too early in the morning. That's sort of what I was getting at there. Unless you want this 91, 92, and then as we come in, like if you like the 50 short, you really should have been short here, 49 and change. So now that we're coming down on AstraZeneca, well, I mean, we can look back yesterday's. Yeah, we still need to come out.
So this right here would be a 1-to-1, right?
A little bit more than 1-1. 105.
1 to 1.5. You usually try to get the at least a 2-to-1, right?
Yeah, I try to get a 2-to-1, but sometimes whenever I'm aggressive, I'll just get a 1-to-1. My goal will be just a 1-to-1.
Well, I mean, your win rate is way higher than the lose rate, right? So even if you do 1-to-1s, you'd be.
Yeah, I mean, usually, you know, I get more than 1-to-1, right? So, but you know, my goal for 1-to-1 will be much more higher. So, I mean, usually my average risk reward will be about like past 2 or 3 R. Like on the hot market, it's gonna be probably like 3 or 4 R. Whenever the market's choppy, probably around 2.5 R.
Alright.
Yeah, and go 1 for 2 on that Blink trade. Just want to show you guys, show you the winners and losers. Can show you on the 15-minute chart so you can see that previous level at 45 top. First time we get the scalp trade out. Get back into it off a high of the day. High of the day was my out. You can see I just got taken out. And it looks like it's a bit of a fail reversal. So what's going to happen to you? It's not top wick. That's about the only thing good I can say about that exit there. So it is coming back in. It's going to be one of those, if you have a stop, that's the risk.
So you can see how the Dow 30, it's still respecting structure right now. It's still making higher lows. S&P 500, it's still respecting levels right now. It's not like it's still bouncing off that 50. So you can see how all these, you know, indices are correlated, but now you can see how the Nasdaq is just breaks over the 50 and 200 EMA, and so you can see how, you know, it's trying to bounce. So it's not as, you know, Nasdaq looks like it's wanting to do its own thing, but you know, still respecting its stop, still respecting the indicators, the RSI, MACD, and everything like that.
I'll take the sauce and leave it now. I know. I'm full, man. Thank you.
In currency and crypto land, we'll have a look at what is moving around so far today. The only two in negative territory here, the Japanese yen and Swiss franc to the downside versus the U.S. dollar. A little bit of volatility coming off once again. Going back a week or so ago, I mentioned this 92 area. This is the dollar index, DXY. You can have a look at it. We're coming back into this area on the U.S. dollar and trying to hold. It's actually stronger, but so is pretty much everything else. The euro, 0.25%.
Bro, generally, you look at, you know, the indices, USDJPY. Do you ever trade GBP, JPY?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Whenever I'm not looking at anything else, I look at those indices and see what I can do with them. I mean, those other pairs, those forex pairs.
I feel like the GBP pairs are, like, I mean, what I've seen them, that I'm really profitable when trading London session for the GBP pairs.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good pairs. Yeah, for sure, they're really good pairs. I love GJ and UJ are probably like my favorite pairs to trade.
Can you trade the GBP JPY during the New York, or do you trade it during the Asian session?
I'll trade both. I'll trade both if I see opportunities. Usually I like trading, yeah, UJ and GJ during Asian session whenever I see good opportunities happen.
Right.
Purpose ETF supposed to go 1 for 1 for Bitcoin, and I think it's very, very close. Like this top is 60,000, so we'll wait to see.
So you would have, if you were in this Nasdaq, you would have already got out, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's choppy. Like I know from the market open it's been choppy, so I'm just worried. I would be just worried to take anything right now. But yeah, I would probably get out at break even on this trade if I entered on it, and I got about like from that move I would have gone about almost 1 R. So in the trading plan, there's something called not a candle stop, but a special stop. It's not a stop order, but a special stop where basically like whenever I know that I'm supposed to lock myself a break even and close half at 1 R, and if it's at 0.95 R, so it's about 0.5 R away from 1 R, why am I risking about 0.5 R? Like, why am I risking about 0.95 R for 5 R, 0.5 R, right? So my ratio is really off. So for me, I take a special stop. I forget what the fuck it was called.
I'm essentially risking a few points and then jump right back in if we hold that opportunity. At this time of day, I'd rather take the small paper cut and look for a re-entry.
Oh shit.
Especially when.
But yeah, I'll take that stop. Like I'll basically get out or close half of my positions at that level at 0.95 R. Because if it's really close to 1 R, like there's no point of me risking about 0.5 R. Like there's no point of me risking about 0.95
waiting to hit it, and he might not hit it. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's not a stop that I created. It's a stop that a lot of systematic traders use. I keep forgetting what it's called.
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean if it's 0.95 R, 0.8 R, or 0.9 R, and it's you can see how it's stalling and stuff like that. Then
Then you move your stop loss.
no, I would get out. Like either I'll get out fully or get out about 80% and lock my stop or break even.
Look at a hard bottom, and we're not there yet. You look at the 1650 area.
Mismatch. It's a fucking Keno stop.
Yeah, today is fucking choppy, bro.
Yeah, it is. Like looking at like my cousin trades a lot of fucking like Nasdaq and he trades mostly Nasdaq, right? And this dude like is this dude is like a hedge fund manager and like he's a freaking like he trades big amounts of money. So from what I've seen from him and how he stays profitable during choppy markets, I just see that he just basically like stops like he doesn't trade whenever he sees how the market is choppy, because he knows that during those days those are usually like the best times for people to lose money because they get FOMO and they want to keep trading, but the market is just not working properly, or it's just choppy, right? It's just really choppy. It's not working out really well.
It goes down to like 16, 30, you get money a little bit. Can't go any further than that. We saw that on Viacom.
So like I've really just looked at how he trades on a daily basis and how I could use that on my systems and on my trading. It's definitely helped me out. Like I definitely like he has his own rules where like if he takes more than 3 losses or 4 losses, he's basically done for the day, and that helps him just stay profitable in the long term and short term as well. Not to overtrade and do something stupid and basically like lose 6% or 10% in a day or whatever because you keep on taking losses or whatever because you're emotional about it. So for me, like I try to follow his stats, try to follow what he's doing and stuff like that. So for me, like I just 3 losses, I'm done. If it's choppy, there's no reason for me to stay in the market and try to get FOMO on an entry that I know that it's probably not going to be clean. So for me, I'm down like about like 0.20% right now, so which isn't a lot to be honest. Like, compared to yesterday, I was up 2%. So I would rather just take that small loss and be over it and just come back tomorrow. Which is important. Like the only thing that's important is just to have your losers small and your winners big. You're gonna take losses. That's just something you have to put in your mind whenever you're a trader. Losses are inevitable. You're gonna take losses whether you like it or not. But if you just look at your statistics and look at the long-term picture, like if I take about 25 losses and if I take 25 losses in a quarter in about 3 months and about let's just say 50 wins or about 75 wins, my win ratio is about 65%. I still lost 25 trades, but I know that whenever I lose, my losses are small. And whenever I win, my wins are big. So it's something that you look at the profit factor. What is your profit factor? Which tells you about basically the amount of wins and losses and the ratio behind it. So your wins are going to be greatly bigger than your losses. Your win rate ratio, your average risk to reward ratio. Those are really important to just look at your statistics and know that I'm trading profitably. Yeah, if I lost about maybe 5 times in a row, or if I've been losing a lot, maybe take a step down and look what you're doing wrong, and also look at your statistics and know that believe in the edge, believe in the system that even if I'm taking losses, I know that in the long term I'm going to be way more profitable because of my win rate, my risk reward ratio, my profit factor, etc.
Yo, bro, I'm sorry, but my computer died. You were saying that there's this guy that you follow that he's a hedge fund manager,
No, it's my cousin. It's my cousin.
and the reason why he keeps being profitable is, and then and then my computer shuts down.
I said my cousin, so he's my cousin in law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, like, he just basically has certain rules. Like, I see how he trades during certain markets. Like, whenever I'm losing on some days, I look to see what he's doing differently and how he's winning. And like, the simple thing is he's not trading during those choppy market conditions. Like, he makes a freaking killing every day. Like, the freaking, like, I don't know, like 20, 30K a day or whatever. And how he does it is just basically he sticks to his rules, and he's not over trading, and he's not trying to jump into an entry really fast or whatever. Like, it's just something that he has certain rules. Like, if it's choppy and he looks how it's choppy and it's not moving correctly, he's not gonna go ahead and just trade it. He's not gonna go, and even if he does trade it and take a loss, he's not gonna get FOMO about it. So I look at how he trades and his rules and whatever, and it's helped me out a lot in my trading and my systems and stuff like that, because I know that whenever the market's choppy, the best thing to do, like on that specific day, is just to get out of the charts. So that's something what I try to do. And you don't have to, like, for me, like, you don't have to trade every single fucking day. Like, with the system itself, you could literally find hundreds of entries. So you don't even have to trade Nasdaq solely. You can look at older forex pairs and still be really consistent, far more consistent than most systems nowadays. So yeah, man, it's just something about you have to have systems. If one instrument is really choppy, then there's no need to continue on taking entries whenever you see how the market is choppy, and you can see how these entries are not going in the proper direction, right? It's just better to step back, look at another instrument, or just step back completely from the charts.
I don't have stock logos. I push stock logos,
Awesome.
guys, and it goes to.
You've had a couple students pass the FTMO, huh?
Yeah, I think I have like 3 now.
That's it, man.
We will be the next ones, bro.
Yes, sir.
Bet. Just same thing, guys. Just follow your rules. Like, I think the hardest part with the system, it's not the real. I mean, it's not like the system is profitable or whatever. I know it's profitable. It's there's statistics to prove it. But I think the hardest part is for the traders to follow the rules, right? I think that's the hardest part in trading, and just having your psychology in the proper zone. Especially with FTMO. FTMO is just really hard. Not because traders don't know what they're doing. Yeah, some of them don't. Some of them don't have a profitable strategy. But most of the times it's probably because of their trading psychology, right? They don't have that psychology in place where, they get emotional over a trade, and then they overtrade, and they do all these stupid mistakes that basically help him fail the challenge because of their psychology or whatever. So, on stuff like that, it's just better to, especially whenever you're taking the FTMO challenge, there's a level of psychology whenever you're taking those challenges that are far more superior, in my opinion, than live trading. Because I mean, in I guess in your average trading, because you have a couple of days to pass this challenge, and that's that stresses you out, especially if you're down on the day. If you're down about 5% on the day, or like you're 5% on the account, that's extra stress and emotional stuff, and you only have about like 10 days to pass the challenge. You get more emotional, right? And with those emotions, you'll make mistakes 100%. And it's something everyone needs to work in. People don't really take psychology really seriously, which I think in my opinion it's a joke, because if you don't, then you're gonna lose. Like, I think the top reason why traders are not profitable right now, most retail traders are not profitable, is because of their psychology. They have that same mindset of, basically gambler's mindset, that same mindset that keeps on letting them do the same mistakes over and over again, right? So it's just super important to have that straight, right? It's like these hedge fund managers, these big players, they know that the reason why we will continue to lose is because we don't have the mental strength to follow these rules and not get overly emotional. And I mean, it takes skill. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible. It just takes a lot of time and practice with your mind. Treating trading like more of a kind of a statistics edge, like a math problem, or like something like that you have the rules, you have the statistics. That if you follow those rules, you will remain profitable. If you follow your your entries and X's, the proper entry and X's, you will be profitable in the long term. You have your statistics, you have your trading plan or whatever, you have all that is in order. And if you just follow those rules correctly every single fucking day, you'll be profitable in the long term. And that's what's hard for most people, because some people cannot follow those rules every single day. Maybe they'll make a mistake, and then that mistake will cost them maybe a lot of money, or maybe an FTMO challenge. So that's what it's extremely hard. And that's why literally, like, algorithms are way better than traders right now, because they don't have emotions, right? They have a set of rules, they have a system in place, and they could be way more profitable than, I guess I'll say, most retail traders, because they follow the rules. Even if they take losses, they still follow the rules. They still follow the program that's programmed into them, right? So it's just something you just have to follow the rules consistently, and not get like emotional about it, which is hard because, again, we're humans. Like, we're emotional fucks, so we always get emotional about certain things. So it's definitely hard, but with practice, with just basically like having rules in your life to basically have the self-discipline to get out of the charts whenever you're not seeing a setup, and to not get pissed off at a chart or a screen, and to know, okay, it's just a chart, right? Let me get out of the room, let me get out of the house, go for a workout or whatever. Just get your mind off things, because if you just have that thought, like thinking about trading 24/7, you're just, and especially if you make a mistake and you're down for the day, you're just gonna want to, like, oh, let me just get into this trade really quick and make some quick money so I can at least have a better margin on my FTMO account or my live account or whatever. And then for that, you're gonna get emotional, and it's gonna suck. So I mean, like, the system works. I know it works. I've programmed it into, like, I've been programming into an AI, not an AI, but I guess you could say an algorithm. And I've seen the results. They're freaking awesome. And I know the system works on the statistics, backtesting out. I know 100% it works, right? But it's much more harder for a trader to take those rules and take that system and be profitable with it, because it's not because of the system, it's because of the psychology with it, right? The trader psychology. So it's just super important to basically keep that in mind and keep your psychology straight. And it's fucking hard. Like, for me, like, even being in the army, it's still hard. I still struggle with it every single day. Hopefully, like, when I come back from infantry training, I'll be much more better at controlling my emotions much more, so I could be a better trader. But it's still definitely hard for me. I struggle with it on a daily basis. And for me, I just have extreme rules that, that prevent me from breaking those rules, right? I do something extreme. If I break those rules, then I'm going to fucking do something like, run like 10 miles or like punishment or something like that. Something stupid, right? To, as punishment, because, like, that if you break those rules, especially if you're consistent with it, like you're breaking those rules on like an average month, you're breaking those rules about maybe 2 or 3 times a month, that's bad. If you're breaking those rules, that could lead up to a bigger loss than normal. That could lead up to, who fucking knows, like maybe blowing your account, right? So it's just super important. Like, let's just say you want to hold a trade, and you don't want to put a stop loss because you're just certain about the direction, and you're just emotional, and you lost about 5% on the FTMO, or you lost 5% on your live account, or 10% on the live account, and like you just want to make that money quick and easy and out, and it just basically never reaches your profit target, and just continues to go more into the red. It's just a bad thing for you, right? You're gonna blow your account or whatever. And I've seen it happen so many times with these traders. The same problems with all of them. Just their psychology is the number one issue. And some people are just fucking robots. They're just fucking unemotional whenever they're trading, which is good for them. But for the most people, the average people, that's not the case. That's why most traders fall in this market, because because of they don't know how to train their mind with strength, basically, right? So yeah, I mean, I would just recommend, like, reading books and just having an actual plan in place to make sure you don't break those rules, and that you stay consistent with those rules as well.
What books do you recommend as far as, like, trading psychology goes?
I would 100% recommend. So yeah, I mean, Trading in the Zone is a really good book. I love that book.
Trading what?
Trading in the Zone. It's a good book. And then as well as Trading Beyond the Matrix. It's a really good book as well. Those are my 2 favorite books that I love. Especially Trading in the Zone gives you that. It's the title of it is Master the Market with Confidence, Discipline, and a Winning Attitude. Discipline is really important, especially in trading, to have. So that's what I would recommend: Trading in the Zone and Trading Beyond the Matrix. Trading Beyond the Matrix is probably my favorite book. It's by Van Tharp Institute. Van Tharp, which he's one of my mentors. So, I mean, I absolutely love that book because it's just so much stories of traders just like us going through the same shit, going through the same emotions, going through the same stuff, losses, wins, and stuff like that, and systems and how they trade their systems. There's the same struggles that all these traders are facing. And, you know, it tells the stories of how they overcame those losses and how they did it and what techniques they used. And then you can use those techniques in your trading to improve in your trading.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's fire, man.
So, I mean, so I got one last question, bro. Like, it's kind of,
No problem.
I know it depends because, you know, there's a lot of factors to it. But could you like quickly recap an entry point on looking at the MACD and the TDI, just because I just need to, you know, make sure that I'm grasping it right.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see right over here. This is strange. Like this entry right over here, you can see how clean this was, and then now you can see how choppy it was. You see how the difference between this thing is?
Holy shit.
You see how choppy it is now? Like this is clean, and then you see how choppy it fucking gets right there. So I mean, that's clearly a point where, you know, you should not be trading that. Like how just extreme choppy right there.
What time was that? That was right before opening, right?
Yeah, that's about 2 hours before the open.
Yeah.
You caught that trade?
No, I didn't. I just marked it up. But you can see the difference between like the clean trades and then like the very choppy in market trades. But like from right over here, if you took it on the break of the 200 EMA, putting your stop at your previous low right over here, that's a clean example of what, you know, MACD and TDI value you would want right there. And this thing gives you about like 2.5 R in profit.
Oh, you would wait for that to break the 200?
No, you could take either direction. For me, I would probably take it off the 200 EMA because the EMAs are clustered together. So I would much more wait for a break of the 200 EMA than the 50 because they're really clustered. But I mean, if you took it off at 50, like you could take it off like
Right there.
right over here, and then, you know, it's the same MACD TDI value. The MACD is up in summer. I mean, the RSI is up in the buy zone as well. Not as much confirmations, right?
Right.
But, you know, if you take it later on, which you can take it later on because it's still clustered together. It gives you more of a confirmation on the MACD and TDI. That's why on the break of the 200 EMA, that gives you like very good confirmation, like the perfect confirmation right there. MACD up into
the confirmation here would be, you know, the only thing off is the L50 was in the sell zone, right?
Yeah, but it's rising, so that's something important to look at. You know, it's still in the sell zone, which is typical. Most entries, you're not going to see the liquid 50 be in the proper zone unless it's a level 2 or a level 3. But on a level 1, which this is a level 1 reset, it's very typical for the liquid 50 not being in the proper zone. That's typical to happen, right? But you just want to make sure that the liquid 50 is rising, RSI and TL is rising, and stuff like that. So, and then the MACD being up in summer.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I just want to show you the difference of that. Like, you know, how this is very clean, and then it just chops its way around right now. You can see how choppy it is. Just,
Yeah, no, that looks crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, on those type of market conditions, you just want to get out. You know, you don't really want to like try sticking on it too much because of, you know, it's just really choppy right now.
Yeah. So, bro, could you re-explain real quick summer, fall, spring, and winter?
Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of graphics in the course as well to help you out with that because there's like a MACD graphics. Let me go ahead and end my stream real quick. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions. These, if you guys don't know, Leo and the other person talking is, you know, they're in our course right now. So we've been talking a little bit about the course setups and the course entries. You know, is there anything you guys want to say before we end the stream?
Oh man, gained a lot of knowledge for sure, and excited to put this into action, man.
What do you recommend for people who want to like buy the course right now with this sale going on?
Oh, absolutely, man. I most definitely recommend it. It's breaking down very well, and so far he's had a couple students pass the FD amount challenge, and that's what we plan on doing too. So
Yeah, that's what we plan on doing.
All right, appreciate it, guys. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. The sale is still going on right now. It's like what, like $50 off the course. It's gonna end this Sunday because I'm increasing the price to $350, and it's